You know, earlier this week we discussed how Starfield could honestly be one of the biggest RPGs ever created, and that video did really well and is still doing really well, so thank you so much for that. But today I want to sort of go back to that, but instead of discussing the depth of Starfield, I want to look at the actual grand scale of it. Because Starfield is without a doubt the biggest Bethesda Game Studios game yet, with over 250,000 lines of dialogue, over 7 factions, 100 solar systems and 1,000 planets to go and explore, and so much more that we can't even begin to list. Now, one of the things I really want to discuss is this picture, which I've shown off plenty of times in the past, but we've never really sort of dove deep into it. A Starfield waiter decided to take Whiterun, a city from Skyrim, and scale it into New Atlantis, Starfield's capital city and the biggest city that Bethesda has ever created. Now, assuming that NPCs are roughly the same size as usual, meaning this edit is actually correct, then you can literally fit the entire city of Whiterun into just one landing pad in Starfield, which is incredible, but again, it's more than that. In this shot of New Atlantis alone, it contains 30 NPCs, which is nuts. This is one building, one small tiny location. Now, if we go back to Skyrim in Whiterun, there is only 73 NPCs in total living in that city. In Starfield, there's almost half of that in just one location. Even in Fallout 4, Diamond City only has around 52 NPCs living in it. Now, of course, this makes sense. New Atlantis is supposedly the sort of new Earth, if you will, for Starfield, so having tons of humans living there makes a lot of sense. Back to this shot, what I really like is how every NPC truly does look a little bit different. They're not all dressing in the exact same clothes with the exact same hairstyles as we've seen in previous BGS games. Now, I'm sure once you actually look at the whole city and we actually get a chance to explore there and walk around, we will of course find people wearing the same outfits, using the same hairstyles, etc, etc, but it's nice to see that in this one shot, we don't actually see any of that, so Bethesda might have actually separated it a little bit. And I definitely think this scale is something that we're massively overlooking, at least for the last year or so. See, back in the 90s, Bethesda used single seed procedural generation to create a landmass larger than the UK, so Starfield's planets can pretty much be bigger than the Earth if Bethesda really wanted to go this route. Of course, we don't know the actual sizes of the planets, and I doubt that they will be that big, but judging from what we've already seen, they do look pretty goddamn huge. And we know that we can land anywhere we want on any planet we want. And look, I know a lot of people are very concerned about the whole Starfield 1000 planets thing, but I'm really not. I've said it a million times. I mean, look, I still play Minecraft, and Minecraft's worlds literally generate the same, like what, 30 biomes with the same like 12 structures every time you play a new world, and most people still aren't bored of it. So I really don't think that we have anything to worry about with Starfield. But again, just going back to the main topic at hand, the grand scale of Starfield will be massive. I have a solid feeling that it will take us a while to explore the cities alone, let alone the rest of the game, because when you take places, buildings, locations of this size, and then add things in like weapons, chests, armor, jetpacks, supplies, or whatever it may be that we're looting, it takes ages to fully explore each location. And yeah, we already know that because Bethesda games have always been like that, but it really does look like Starfield is going to be bigger and better than ever before. But just to kind of turn this around a little bit, this could also be a problem. People with super busy jobs, kids and stuff like that are not going to have much spare time to explore all of this and walk around every single planet for 2 hours collecting resources. That could honestly turn some people away, at least from the general audience. When you take a look at a game like The Outer Worlds, it was short, and I mean very short. You could literally beat the main quest in a day if you really wanted to. And the majority of people, at least from what I saw, really didn't like this. However, there were a few players that liked how short it was, because they're really busy in life. So Starfield, being as huge as it is, could really go in either direction, but I genuinely think that most people will enjoy it. Now, one of the other aspects of Starfield that I think isn't getting much attention right now, but should be, is the character creation. Usually in BGS games, you would just create a character, start the game, and that would be that. But we have so much more customization here with Starfield, from full-blown body sliders to traits and backgrounds which will heavily affect the kind of character that you play as. Now, this is going to be absolutely crazy for replayability, playing one character and then being able to truly have a completely different character on another save. Honestly, I cannot wait to start making character build videos with this system. It's going to be an absolute blast, I already know it. And yes, I already have a list of character builds I want to make videos for when Starfield finally releases. But seriously, just this one tiny aspect of the game is going to be amazing for Starfield and Starfield's overall replayability. I have to imagine that there's going to be plenty of times that we're doing a mission and think to ourselves, oh, that might actually be a little bit different if I had a different trait, making you want to just start a new playthrough with a completely different character. And yes, again, that's always been the case with Bethesda Game Studios games, but now we have full traits and backgrounds that will help give our characters so much more of a history, story, depth and past, and really just help the characters we create feel a hell of a lot more real. I mean, you can start the game in debt if you really want to. I've already decided I'm going to do that for my second playthrough. But anyway, that is pretty much all I have to say today, guys, so let me know in the comments below which backgrounds and traits you're going to choose for your first character. I'm really interested in all of your builds. Please do drop the video a like for me if you haven't already, it really does help out more than you can imagine. And hey, if you're new around here and you're looking for a place to stay up to date on all Starfield news, leaks, discussions, and plenty of other Bethesda focused content, I've got you covered, so consider subscribing, I cover it all over here. Lastly, as always, a big massive thank you to our channel members, you guys are absolutely amazing, and I could not do this without your continued support. But with all of that said and done, thank you all so much for watching, and I really hope to see you next time. Peace.